First time driving the M5.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Postin. We're back at it again today. Sorry for the long delay in videos, you guys. Between coaching basketball and everything going on at work, I just wanted to bring you guys the best quality possible. So I held off on filming until I had some actual time where I could sit aside and film. Today we're going to kind of get into what it's been like to own this car for over 3 years now, and how much it's approximately costed me to maintain this car up to this point. But first, we're going to get a car wash since my car is super dirty from the last time I took it to Ann Arbor. Can't do a video without a properly clean car, you know me. So we are at this touchless car wash place up here. Let me grab the camera so you guys can kind of see. Alright, see, we're up here at this touchless car wash place out here in Royal Oak. As we're here sitting in the long line of cars for the car wash, shout out OFGJ Forever, shout out Sauce God Vlogs, shout out Kid Gamer KG, shout out everybody who's been chilling in the comment section and showing love. If you're not subscribed right now, make sure you drop a sub right now. I'm picking people out of the comment section of every video to shout out. So shout out to you guys, shout out everybody who fell through, and yeah, we'll keep this going. Now that I got the car clean, got her dried off, did the rims, let's go find a spot to chill so we can go over my original multi-point inspection from BMW and talk a little bit about what I've had to do to maintain this car over the last almost 3.5 years now. So without further ado, let's ride along and find a nice little spot for us to have a conversation. Alright, now that we found a nice little place to stop and have our little chat, let's take a look at our multi-point inspection that I got from BMW when I first got the car. When I first got the car, the only few things that needed to be done on here, as per BMW, was get the rear diff service, the fluid that is, replace spark plugs, replace oil filter cap, and replace air filter. Since this sheet, I promptly got the diff fluid service for about $100 through a person who works on our cars. I also got the spark plugs from online, the NGK spark plugs, I do believe. Those installed altogether, I believe, was about $100 as well. I got the oil filler cap. Actually free of charge, so that really helped. And then the air filter I replaced with the Mach Chanel Performance air filter, which is also cleanable. That was about $100 as well. All of that together cost me about $300, where per BMW their total came out to be to about $1,000, because as we know, BMW upcharges for a lot of things at their facilities. So I got through this list with about $300. Besides this list, I've had my various oil changes, which are about $70, $80 through the person that does my oil changes. If you go to BMW, they'll charge you probably around $100 to do it. To get the oil change and this multi-point inspection was $130, so that could give you a little bit of a breakdown right there, if you will. Aside from the items on the list, the only maintenance that I haven't accounted for that I've had to do was replacing the rod bearings at 130,000 miles. I was already expecting those to go since I hit 130,000 miles in them, and the car does notoriously have a rod bearing issue. That being said, I got the entire rod bearing kit, including the bearings, the bolts, the O-rings, everything, for about $600, which is very cheap compared to full price. Thank God, once again, I got them on half price. Also, thank God that I have a guy who is willing to work on our cars and give us such great deals on that. He ended up doing all the service on everything for $300. So I actually got through the entire rod bearing process at just under $1,000, which is actually very low compared to a lot of people that I know who've had to do the same thing. So as it sits, a few $100s here, a few $100s there. We're looking pretty nice for a little over 3 years. Like I said up front, we had about $300 worth of maintenance to do. Then the big bangaroo being the rod bearings, that came in really cheap for me, under $1,000. So with oil changes, we're probably looking around $1,400, $1,500, give or take a few dollars, in the last 3.5 years, which is outstanding. All maintenance aside, the rest of the money I've spent on this car has been purely because I've wanted to. Doing the exhaust system, I got the exhaust parts for around $600, $650 for the X-pipe and the muffler. I had the work done, once again, through a person I know very well. So that came out around $800 altogether, which is a steal for installation and doing the complete exhaust system. And then on top of that, I have the Stage 2 BPM tune, which fully loaded out was around $1,300, $1,400. I also, once again, had that Schnell air filter. That was kind of a necessity from that list, so I won't put it on this list. Carbon fiber rear diffuser, got that on installed for about $400. So all together with things that I have spent on the car just because, let's count it out, $400 of $1,400. We'll put $1,800 right there, and then we'll call that $800 for the exhaust. So $2,600, give or take a few dollars, has gone to purely stuff that I've wanted to do to the car, not things that have been necessary. So in all, big total, around $4,100 is what I spent on this car so far. It might even be a little more than that because I did buy a front splitter for the car that I've not used yet. Of course, this cost doesn't include anything like wheel cleaner or wax or anything like that either. So long story short, actually maintaining this car is not out of the question. There's not much that goes wrong with it that is going to cost you a ton of money. Obviously, you got to get one that has been taken care of and the person has been replacing belts and lines and whatnot over time and keeping it up properly. But if you are on a super strict budget, of course I wouldn't recommend really you having any car. But I think these cars get a bad name because of their curious rod bearing failure, you want to call it that. I think if you're looking for a car like this and you're in the market to spend a little bit more money on maintenance, this is a great car to add to your stable, especially with everything that it comes with and redlining out at 8,500 RPM after the tune. Just don't be scared. Get in there, ask questions. Have somebody who can work on the cars on the side who is reliable, somebody you know in the BMW community who maybe has worked for BMW. That is a big key in maintaining this car. I will tell you, if I didn't have a couple people like that, then maintaining this car would be a lot more difficult just because the price I would have paid for installation and even some of the parts would have been 2 times, 3 times higher than what I've already done. Of course, I would have spent it. This car, you can't measure how many smiles you get per gallon. I'm going to say that once again. So don't look at it like a money pit or anything, because it's definitely not, and especially if you get one that's looked at, it's definitely not. Very reliable car. Every time I get in it, I know it's going to boot up. I know what it's going to do. It's not trouble with a lot of things that some other cars may have, especially having it in a manual. Makes it very easy, very straightforward for me. Obviously, you could put a lot more money into this car. If you got a supercharger kit, that's anywhere from $13,000 to $16,000 for the kit itself, not even for the installation or doing any reinforcing of differentials or anything like that. You could also put a stroker kit on it. You could do E85. There's a lot of things you could do to spend more money, to get more power. But as it is, As this build goes, pushing about 460 horsepower, naturally aspirated, 130,000 miles on the car. She's running perfectly smooth, and there's not much more you can really ask for. This car is an 08, so it's been running around for a long time, and it's only proven that it's got a lot more time left on its plate, and that comes from my technicians as well as the BMW technicians I've taken this car to at BMW Earhart. So take that as you may, but if you're in the market for a car like this, for a muscle car, for a BMW M car, this is one that is absolutely worth checking out and doing your research on, because it is definitely in the question to be able to reliably maintain these and not break the bank. Make sure you guys subscribe and drop a comment below what you think about this conversation. If you have an E92 M3, or if you're looking for an E92 M3, please drop a comment below and give us your 2 cents. Please make it constructive, obviously, or your comment may not make it below because of many filters that YouTube has in place. It's been your boy Posted from Beemer Fam. Peace.